team's got to be able to close out games. And there was a stretch at the very, very beginning of last year where Tyrese Halliburton was the closer. Like he was very early in his rookie career. He was in there in the fourth quarter. He was Mr. Fourth Quarter. Then along came the end of the season and De'Aaron Fox playing at this, superstar level. While De'Aaron has gotten all of the heat, like Tyrese is missing from action in the fourth quarter too. Like someone in that closing lineup, we've made so much about who's going to close the game, has got to step up and be able to close these close games against good teams.
No, the attention is always going to be on De'Aaron Fox, and rightfully so, because he's the spotlight. He's the guy that Luke Walton calls the head of the snake every literal opportunity that he gets. So naturally,
and he makes $170 million.
Yeah, he makes that much money too. And naturally, if he's scoring only 14 points like he did in a winnable game against the Dallas Mavericks, people are going to pay attention to that. The fact that he's in the last 3 games put up either high teens or low to mid 20s in field goal attempts, but only hit single digits. I think you mentioned earlier in the show, someone pointed out that he has more field goal attempts than he has points scored so far this season. Like that jumps tremendously off the page, but you're absolutely right. Tyrese Halliburton hasn't been great. You look at the 3-point shooting percentage of everybody not named Harrison Barnes or Buddy Hield, it's absolutely abysmal. Terrence Davis has been horrific coming off the bench, and he's supposed to be the second best 3-point shooter on this Kings team. But it's I think it's more than that. Like what I notice offensively with the Sacramento Kings, it's a very similar trend to what we saw in the Dave Yeager season, right? When the Kings got off to that really, really hot start. They were getting out in transition. They were scoring. They were surprising teams. They were tiring teams out. But in the second half of the season, teams recognized, okay, force the Kings into the half court a little bit, and they lose their way. It's the same thing so far in these 6 games. 3 quarters, the Kings are using their defense, getting out in transition. Defense is turning into offense. They get to the fourth quarter. Teams know how to clean things up a little bit, not make nearly as many mistakes. Kings are dribbling the ball up the floor a lot slower, forced into half-court offensive sets, and still – they don't look like they necessarily know what to do. Their play